All right, first things first, episode 7. And what we do, or what I do, is film 3 episodes that I put out over 3 weeks' time. Each of the 3 episodes will be governed by our evil character, Krieg, and 48 laws of power. So the first thing we're going to do is get what our 48th law of power. Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 48.
A random number between 1 and 48 is 32.
32 it is. Excellent. All right, let's see. Oh, there it is. Law 32. Play to people's fantasies. Oh boy. Play to people's fantasies. Interesting, because I plan on Krieg playing to his fantasies as well. With the lady. So what does this say here? The truth is often avoided because it is ugly and unpleasant. Oh yeah, Krieg agrees. Never appeal to truth. Never appeal to truth and reality. Sorry, I like to appeal to, this isn't me. So Krieg, never appeal to truth and reality unless you are prepared for the anger that comes from disenchantment. Life is so harsh, well this is true, especially where Canaan's at, and distressing that people who can manufacture romance or conjure up fantasy are like oases in the desert. Everyone flocks to them. There is great power in tapping into fantasies of the masses. Well, this is perfect. All right, so the simple line here is I can tell what he's at least going to be doing in this first one, if not throughout. The gold, which is a thread that we have. So I am going to be using from the Mystic Game Emulator. I needed to be more dialed in. They had the summary of resolving scenes, the scene setups, characters, threads. I will be using that for random events at this point in time. Still using the Oracle and the Twilight 2000 system, but this sheet is here to help me stay organized. But we have the gold bank that's in Warsaw. Hello, there's a fantasy and a goal and a picture and a oasis of wealth. We will never appeal to truth and reality. So we're never going to appeal to the truth and reality. We are going to manufacture romance or conjure up fantasy. Got it. 100% got it. All right, speaking of that, the show, or this episode, this scene, is going to start with Kanan in his office, which is the primary hospital where, the mental hospital, where even the Nazis took it over during World War II. He's kept up these ancient oil paintings of the people that have come before him, some of which, there's one, I'll throw it up here now, he even to me, I'm sure he's not, I know he was a real person, but to me when I first saw the photo I thought he looks a little bit like Dracula. Okay, a little bit like Vlad, but he's got that up and he loves that photo. But he's meeting with the Marauder leader that used to control the gas pumps, that just has this ultimate liking, almost a worshipness of Krieg. And while I was off screen, I looked up a bunch of Polish names, men and women, and Jan, J-A-N or Jan, but it's Jan. Maybe it's Jan, Y-A-N, Jan. So we have Jan, yes, I even have it phonetically here. And he's in a meeting with him. It's very formalized. He's behind the desk. Jan is on the other side. And like I said, every meeting we've had, Jan has been fawning basically over Krieg to the point that it was almost getting him in trouble with his guys. Jan carries a Tokarev Russian pistol. The marauding group has been invited, once all the fuel was taken from the area, stripped by us and the military that's with us, they were invited to come in, and Krieg is going to talk to Jan basically about, hey, I have jobs I would like you to do. Jobs that are dirty jobs. Jobs that are maybe even distasteful jobs. And I want to see kind of what his openness is to these. So I'm not doing a yes or no. Using the oracle from Twilight 2000, I'm looking at the numbers 2 being on the low end, ace being on the high end is all I'm looking for here. So a graded system, we'll see what this is. I don't care about the color. An 8, all right? Not bad, kind of middle of the road. So we have a kind of opening discussion here. Let's see. Well, so let's come back to Law 32. The first thing Krieg does is bring Jan in on the Warsaw Gold. And I don't need to flip a card. It's effective. He tells him, first thing I want you to do, easy thing, start putting the word out through the city or through whatever connections you have that I would like to talk to somebody Spetsnaz. And Jan's kind of like, wow, did not expect that to happen at all. I want to see how open he is to working with Spetsnaz. Let's just go with a simple yes, no. So this is no. Black cards mean like bad things are going on. He's like, man, the Spetsnaz are killers. You know, I've already heard enough stories of folks that have run into the Spetsnaz. I don't want to deal with them. I don't want to be involved with them. They'll cut your throat as quick as they'll make a deal with you. You just don't know. And he says, Krieg says, yeah, I just want you to put out the word. You put out the word that Kanan Krieg, the king of Gniezno. Hello, it's the first time he's worked in the title. I never even thought of that, but he's starting, first time he's called himself the king of Gniezno, the town they're in. The king of Gniezno wants to have a connection with Spetsnaz. And Jan is like, you know, man, I'll put the word out. But he's like, and Krieg's like, yeah, just leave your name out of it. The king of Gniezno, Krieg, wants to have a connection. He's like, fine, I'll put the word out. But that is it. He's like, enough said, deal done. Word will be put out, and we'll see how that gets done. I don't know how that would be. But a general rumor mill at this point in time, which rumors run rampant in Poland after the aftermath of World War III. So now the bigger issue. Krieg says there is a young lady, the farm girl, and let's see, what is her name? We're going to need her name. So let me get into Lena. So Lena will be the farm lady's name. Kanan managed to get that much. And he says, Lena, I have an eye for Lena. What I would like you to do is invisibly, casually, I will pay you well, is to keep an eye on her, again, invisibly, kind of learn her whereabouts, and if there's ever an opportunity, this is Krieg, to separate her from her husband, I would pay greatly. I'm curious again, how is this perceived? This guy already likes Krieg. So he's like fawning over him. I want to give him, I'm just looking for the numbers here, 2 to ace, and I'd like to put a +4 on this. 10, excellent. So 14, or what, Jack, Queen, King, Ace, all the way up. So he is, yeah, not a problem. I'm going to leave this open that as a thread, kind of like a behind the scenes thread that maybe I will check on randomly between episodes, because Krieg's asked him to keep an eye out for her invisibly. So to watch, learn, study, and if he can separate her from her husband, whatever that means, pretty vague, to do so, and he'll be rewarded mightily, and he's agreeable. So we will check to kind of see how that works over time. And the last question for Jan. The military, the vehicles, the trip to Warsaw, the gold that is going to come, which Jan has just told him it's unparalleled wealth. And Jan, you'll be in on it. And Jan is just like, wow. I mean, this is the dream at this point in time. He was, making a killing off of fuel that he was in control of, and now he's got a chance to hit it big. But Krieg says there is prep that still needs to be done on top of the Spetsnaz that we need connections with. Who else were you in competition for with fuel? Who else has fuel? Because we're going to take it. And we need as much as we can get to run this town of mine, and to get this gold of ours. And does Jan know anybody else? Does he know anybody else? So just simple. Well, first of all, I think he would know somebody else. Is it going to be did he have the best or not? Or is there someone that with even more? Again, 2 to ace, king. Yeah, he knows somebody. Is it a rival of his? It is not. That is a no. So it is not a rival, but he knows where there is more fuel. And he says, we can go there now. It's not that far. And Krieg's like, saddle up. So I want to see if we're going to get into a little bit of action here. All right, so let's see. How do we determine? Let me see on the random event side. Well, no. First of all, we're going to get the units together to go out for this fuel. We are going to get a solid platoon, army platoon. So that is 30 men. And Krieg is going to take both Sanchez and Pacheco with him. They're going to take an armored Suburban, and we're going to take Krieg's vehicle. So we'll just do Krieg and Sanchez, and Jan and Pacheco are in the Suburban. So we got the Suburban, and we've got Krieg's armored car. The rest of the military troops are in armored Humvees. So as we roll out, the first thing I want to check is just a typical random event. We've got Jan passenger in the armored Suburban with Pacheco up front. We've got Krieg has positioned his vehicle kind of in the middle of this convoy for safety. And Jan is taking Pacheco to the location, and they have some radio comms communication amongst the convoy. So first, what is the random encounter? It does happen on a road. Oh, interesting. This is a booby-trapped vehicle, which actually fits in very nicely with the people of Gniezno that are getting upset with what King Krieg is trying to do. So we have, it's daylight, yes. Road, yes. So we have a deserted pickup in the PCs if they investigate ambushing. Okay. Yeah, it's an IED. So I want to know, one, how powerful is this IED? Have they packed in, an old shell from a 155 millimeter howitzer gun? Or is this simply, some gas and, general explosives? We're looking for 2 to ace, 3. So this is fairly minor. So not that it's without hazard. In parlance, we have an explosive radius. Where is the explosive? Only target hex. Got it. All right, so looking under the blast power, we are looking at just the simple hex that the vehicle's in. So, 2 things on this. So Pacheco, very much an operator type guy, very aware and alert of his surroundings, but we are in a city. I'm going to just say you can't drive by inoperable vehicles. You can't avoid driving by inoperable vehicles in the city. So it's not like it's standing there by itself just set up to blow up. You don't necessarily want to get close to it. You want to kind of swing out to the side. Pacheco knows that, of course. I think the key here, though, would be there's usually a lookout that's watching and will detonate remotely. And what could be seen would be this remote detonator person. So first I want to see Pacheco as an operator actually has a very good recon skill, which is why he was put. I don't have a sheet for him. I don't know why I'm looking at Krieg. But we're going to say he's got B intelligence, so a D10 and an A recon. He's very good. So we're going to do a die roll. So Pacheco has a 12 and a 10. Let's see. Keep looking at that. And we're going to roll for these just to see if he picks up the lookout. Ooh, he's got a 1. So he's got a stressor. Interesting. And a 2. So he can push this. I don't think so. I think we're just going to take that as a fail. And we're going to do a yes or no to see when this triggers. So I know. So you can get, let's see, we're going to ticket, here we go, the Suburban, and then we're going to have 6 Humvees. So we're going to do 3, and then there sits Krieg, and then 3 more Humvees. And when this thing triggers is going to be done by these cards here. And we're going to just do 1 card at a time. So as the vehicle is in the hex of this truck, again, we're in a city. You can't help but be next to it. So it's not a super devastating blow, but it will only affect the vehicle that's in the hex as they drive through. So first is the Suburban. And we want to see, all we're looking for is if we get a spade or a club. Diamonds, so it's out. So Pacheco rolls right on by, and nothing is exploded. I'm not going to do any more perception checks or recon checks, because I believe Pacheco at his skill level, if he doesn't spot the person, they must be, sitting back, 8 feet within a window in the area, and they can't be seen, but they can observe. And Pacheco doesn't see him. It's a city. Again, there's vehicles everywhere. Nothing here is giving him a clue. You even have foot traffic around in the area. I'm going to keep that Jack of Diamonds out. We're now coming, it's going to be 3 Humvees in a row. The odds are one of these is going to be blown before it gets to Krieg, but we don't know. So again, first Humvee. No. This could get the Krieg. Second Humvee. Let me do a shuffle. Second Humvee. Yes. All right. So the explosion happens on the second Humvee. And what do we got here? If we've got a platoon of 30, so yeah, we've got roughly, or probably even evenly, 5 guys in. So, you know, you've got driver, passenger, rear seat, and a guy up in whatever, you know, weapons in the cupola. Yeah, we can assume they would have their mounted guns up there, which would be 50s probably, or 279s. So 279s, 240s. All right, so we've got 5 people in this vehicle. Hold on. How do we do this explosion? Got to be in that hex for this low explosion to actually do any damage. But I will be rolling 2d6. The explosion happens. And on hits, it will do a damage 1. Critical is at a 2. Armor plus 1. All right, so this will be for, there's 5 troops in here. We're rolling 2d6, so let me just roll one of these ammo die, and we're going to have, we're going to do driver, passenger, rear passenger, guy up in the turret for a T, and another passenger. So first, the driver. A 1 and a 2, so no hit. Let's see. And obviously we need to get a 6 for a hit. We'll go for the passenger, 4-5. Nope. The rear driver's side, 5-4. The guy up in the turret, 3-1. And the right passenger, 2-3. Perfect. All right. Well, that gives us an explosion that scares the tar out of the second Humvee in the group. It explodes. You have a low-level explosion, though. If it's primarily gas, you get this fireball. But in the Humvee, they're protected from it. The vehicle is showered with some glass and parts, but nobody is the worse for wear. Now, the entire column picks up speed after this, and it's go, 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 because they're worried this could be the trip-off for an ambush. I want to check one thing, which is going to be mobility rolls. Now, I actually have driven a Humvee. They're extremely easy to drive. It's just like a car, other than starting it. But we're going to just see, we're going to assume that everybody's got a pretty decent mobility driving the Humvees, the Suburban, and Sanchez driving Krieg's armored vehicle. But, all right, I don't think this is going to panic the troops, but I'll roll a d12, and if we get a 1, there will be some type of accident, whether they've overcorrected, hit a wall, or something. So first for Pacheco, we're looking for a fail, a 1, no. The first Humvee, no. The Humvee that had the explosion, no. The third Humvee, no. Krieg, who's not driving, 2, close, they got nervous. The first of the second set of Humvees, 12, nope. And 5, and the last one, 7. All right. They roll through there, boom! This truck, this abandoned, wrecked out truck just explodes. Primarily a gas explosion. It does blow some stuff. They move right on through. And note taken, the townsfolk, or someone, not happy. So unhappy. We're going to list that as part of what that is. That feels like what that is. So we roll through town. We've had that interesting explosion. Note taken. What is the fuel type situation? You know what? We're going to go to the solo rules on this because they have some stuff that will be in here Okay. Well, I want to know how dangerous or helpful this group will be. I can't imagine that they're happy. So on page 104, there's the helpful or hazardous. We're coming in strength. We are just moving in strength. Most, whether it's even a gang leader or a marauder leader, they can't stand up to 6 Humvees and a couple armored vehicles. There's a lot of firepower here. But you never quite know what you're dealing with. So what we're going to do is flip a card here, looking to see, are we dealing with helpful or hazardous? There's a black list. There is a red suit list. A black suit, red suit. Not a black list, a black suit. So first, we're just looking for dangerous here. Low numbers mean neutral. High numbers mean deadly. If it's red, it means they could even be life-saving. And again, neutral. Because who knows who we're running into and what kind of power influence we're able to exert. So what is it? Wow. A 2 of hearts. So it's just neutral. Interesting. I think it is that we roll in with such power and force that the group that's there, I'm not saying there's not, maybe the kingpin's not there, but whoever's running this location is, they're not equipped to handle 6 Humvees and a couple contractor vehicles. They're just not. It's a complete power takeover. So what I want to see, how much fuel is even there? We know it was supposed to be good. It's a good, solid location. We learned that from Jan. He's taken us right there. But how much do they really have? Does he know? I don't know. We're again going to go from 2 to ace. We're not caring about suit. 7. All right. It's not great. By the way, I didn't bring any vehicles. Isn't that interesting? And I've already gone through the deal. So maybe we're going to call those in and have them come to us. It's the only thing I can figure. We went out to secure, and now that we've got it and we've plumbed the depths, and yeah, they're not empty, but they're also not chuck full. But they've got a decent amount of gas. On the radio comes up, Major McGiffin's called, and we're told, yeah, we got fuel. Send another platoon. We had an IED while we're out rolling around. Send another platoon with the fuel trucks to this location. Interesting. So there is a hazard built into this. What's my time? There's a hazard built into this because now we're hanging tight. We've taken the spot. But have we drawn attention, positive or negative attention to ourselves? 5. And we'll look at, I didn't say suits, so we'll just go with red. No, we have not garnered any attention to ourselves. We're doing fine. Either it's not a concern or we're still so powerful, nobody's jacking with us as we're securing this fuel site. I am curious, is it just pumps? We'll just say it's some pumps again. All right, we've had an IED, does the other platoon with the fuel trucks, do they have any kind of problem getting to us? Now this one, not only do I want to see red or green or red or black, but I want to know the problem is going to be based on the number as well. Ooh, a joker. This means a random event that we're going to do with this mythic emulator system. So this is the squad, again, 6 Humvees with whatever accompanying fuel vehicles. Let's just say 2. I can't imagine needing more than that. We plumbed the depths, we know how many to get. So we're going to roll 100 percentile dice here to get our random event. We have a 42, which is, haggle. Interesting. Why in the world would the guys coming to us need to haggle? Well, this is the random event. So 21 and messages. messages. Well, that is interesting. Here's what I think happens to the convoy, and they call it in. They actually run into a improvised roadblock, and there is, I want to see how violent. There's someone that's going to be haggling with them, but from what angle? And again, we're going to look at NPC motivation here. So there's a leader that's got this roadblock, not coming out attacking or anything like that. Well, at least off the bat. I want to see what this roadblock was running here, and it's going to follow clubs or violent, spades or power, diamonds or wealth, and hearts or fellowship. So spades, but it's a weak one. So we're looking at power, but a 2 to 4 is extremely weak on here. 2 to 4. So this roadblock is about power and haggling, but it's extremely weak. So do they, Krieg's not with this group. Do they just mow them down and move on, or do they deal? Well, I'm not with this group. I know what Krieg would do. He would not haggle. But I don't know who's running this group, so let's see if they haggle or not. We're just going, red is they, well, what is it? Do they haggle? Red is yes. They do not haggle. So there's a roadside kind of blocking that goes on. I picture some vehicles pulling out and blocking the road in front of and behind. This responding squad was completely ready for danger because of the IED that's already been reported to them. They are not playing around, and the lead Humvee opens up with a 50 cal and just destroys these cars at fairly close range as the driver comes to a brake. I can't imagine this being much of a problem. I'm going to roll 2 D12s just to see how this breaks up, and I haven't looked at a 50 in a while. This is the 50 Browning. Where are you? There you are. M2HB. Make sure I've got it. Yes. We're not playing around here, so let's see. If we get any hits, reliability's good. Rate of fire is a 4. I'm going to be honest, I'm not even going to roll rate of fire. These guys got plenty of ammo. Damage is 4, crits 4. They're hammering these cars that have blocked the front of the route. There's a 10 with 2 hits and a 4. So we've got 2 hits. The 50 just mauls the damage there. So the first hit does 4. The extra hit does a +1 for 5. We've got critical hits, just completely destroys these vehicles. And then the Humvee, seeing that they're taken out, comes up and pushes one of the vehicles out of the way. He pushes them off to the side, and immediately the rest of the convoy is moving through. It's seamless as far as them coming through. They're starting to pull into where the gas is now. They've reported that they had some kind of contact, and I want to see now again. Well, let's see. Let's let them get the fuel, and then as they make their exit, that will take some time. Then we will we'll see if the cavalry has arrived for these marauder groups. They've pumped out all the fuel, heavy pumped out fuel here. They've gotten quite another load of fuel that they need. And all we're asking is have more marauders shown up to challenge this. No, they have not. Part of that could be now you have 2 platoons worth of Humvees and heavy armament. They may just not be capable. They get the fuel pumped, and now they're egressing out. Now, I'm assuming the town's not real thrilled with this type of action. But who knows? Assuming the town is even less pleased. But these troops would not go back the same way they went in. Very, very, well, do they have any trouble getting back? I'm not going to do a random event. I just want to know, do they have any trouble getting back? If it's a black card, then it's yes. Another joker. I didn't think there's only 2 jokers in this deck, but I'm pulling jokers a lot when I do my live one with Dan Pancaldi and them too, but that's fine. So we're doing a special event here. Something's going on. Don't know what it is. We have 3, which is going to be neglect. What could neglect be? That could be a vehicle breaking down, but who knows? And 37 is business. Well, let's see. Neglect business. I'm going to go back on that. The business of soldiering, having been in a light infantry company with some Humvees, is to take care of your equipment. If you've neglected your business, a vehicle may break down, especially when you've now got 12 of them out there and a couple of refuel tankers. Let's keep the joker out. So we know we've got a neglected business, a neglected vehicle. Is it, I think it's probably more likely that it's one of the Humvees, so we're just going to look for the first one to hit. One of the 12 Humvees? Probably. No. Okay. Is it going to be, we'll go with whatever's the highest here, so we got a jack, because it's going to be one of them. Is it going to be one of the 2 tankers? If I can get the card. No. Well, is it going to be the Suburban, or is it going to be Krieg's vehicle? No, it is not. Interesting. So, if it's not a neglected, that's interesting. Well, we're going to follow the cards. It's none of their vehicles. What in the world would be neglected business? Okay. What if one of these tankers, they were in a hurry to leave and they didn't maybe seal up properly, so they're dropping a little bit of fuel. Come on. All right. Maybe. Let's just see here. That's another random event. How do I keep drawing jokers again? 97. That's fine. We'll just play this out. I'm sure I'm doing something wrong here. Anyway, transform. We're going to put all this together to see what it is. Transform, and 15 is the innocent. The innocent. All right, transform the innocent. Well, the innocent would be the folks that are of townspeople, and we're transforming them. I think I got it. Logically, maybe neglecting the business is the troops are jumpy, and they are they're quick on the triggers. And any vehicle that gets too close or citizen that looks suspicious, they're ripping rounds off on them. Yeah, that's it. They didn't like the IED. Then they had the roadblock haggle weekly done, and they're trigger happy. They're neglecting their business, and they are literally enraging the populace, the innocent of Gniezno. We already kind of had that hint going on, so logically I think that makes sense. They get back, but the townsfolk are not happy. And I'm curious, and I know what happens. A group of 10 folks, the innocent, show up at the front gates to the Gniezno hospital compound. It's got a guard shack. They've reinforced this. At some point, I'll draw out a little hex hex map kind of thing to show you, or whatever a little picture will draw just to give a rough estimate. But these folks show up transformed innocents. They're angry. Some family members have been killed. And let's look at what Krieg would do. So again, we're going to play on people's fantasies, but we're never going to appeal to truth or reality. I got it. Krieg walks out. And Krieg he's flanked, so they're back at their base, but he walks up to the controlled area, and there's like 10 townspeople out there, women and older folks, and even some younger pissed off men, and they're mad. This convoy, not only was there explosion, they've been firing up, and they're angry. And I'm not even sure they're asking for anything. They're just protesting. And Krieg will never appeal to truth or reality. So Krieg tells them, your people fired on us. We had an IED go off. We had a roadblock. We were fired upon. Are the people hearing it? Are they accepting it? No, they are not. So manufacture, romance. I don't know if he can manufacture anything. He said, he tells them, the killing was done by the marauders that were trying to stop us. The whole plan is to bring Gniezno to a point that we can be even a prospering town. But for that, you have to fall in line with what I'm telling you to do. This is not going over well, but he says, if you do, this town can be a hub of activity. We can be a center of success. I'm going to pull 3 cards, and if any one of these are black, the crowd starts to get angry. None of them. Huh? I've learned one lesson. Follow the cards. 3 cards pulled, not a single black one. It has a positive effect. I didn't think it would. So he has not appealed to truth or reality. He's lied, but he has manufactured some idea of romance that, and as far as he's going to make Gniezno good again. And for today, they buy it. And I think they leave. And we'll call the scene. So, looking at page 40 real quick. Let's make sure, because I need to make sure I'm getting this down continually. Did Krieg participate in the game session? Absolutely, +1. Did he follow his moral code despite? Yes, he's got Jan trying to work on, seizing or somehow getting this farm woman. Evil. Did you risk or sacrifice something significant to realize your dream? Yes, he did. Not only is he securing fuel, he is trying to get his vision out to the populace that they can become a prosperous center. Did you travel through at least 1 hex? Yes. We're at +4. Did you overcome 1 or more dangerous events? Yes. This is not a bad one. Did you risk your life for the PC who's your buddy? Nope. Has no buddy. So we got a +5 coming out of that one. I'm going to add that right in here. We're up at we have 11 experience points at this point in time for Krieg after he spent. Nothing here much has changed other than we've got some more fuel, but the angry Gniezno population is a thread that continues to evolve, and I would say it's getting more serious, not less. Thank you. We'll call that scene. If you're enjoying the show at all, Patreon, look up Bonding with Board Games. I should add, and RPGs. And you can help me out there if you like. I'll put your name in the credits. Other than that, subscribe, thumb it. See you guys. Bye.